What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Attack on Sports Network. We are back today to discuss what is going down in Packers town. Is the Packers have hired, man, if you don't put that disgraceful ass, don't you put that nasty funk ass cheese on my owner's head. Well, my team owner's head. And he ain't my owner. Ain't no Kunta Kinte over here. But my team owner's head, man. Don't you be putting that funk ass cheese on his head.
Man, we appreciate Derek.
Nah,
man.
ain't no appreciate nothing.
We appreciate
Y'all need to appreciate the fact that y'all gonna miss the playoffs next season, bruh. Yeah, I'm starting it off like that. Y'all are missing the playoffs 100%. And the fact that y'all just had to scrape the bottom of the barrel for the defensive coordinator candidates.
Bottom of the barrel?
Yes, bottom of the barrel, bro. He's the guy that nobody else wanted. He was everybody's backup plan. He was everybody's backup plan, bro.
Hey, well, now he with the pack.
Because you got everybody's backup plan, bro.
Hey, man, you don't know that.
Yes, that's what he was.
You know what I mean? Hey,
that's what he was for everybody. You can't sit here and convince me. Matter of fact, I'm about to go ahead and start popping the gun off real immediately. I'm not even about to play with you today. Hold on, bro. We about to go ahead and get this popping.
I think Gannon is not
We about to go ahead and get this popping. I'm not even about to play with you, bro. Explain this. You sitting here trying to make it sound good to all the Packers fans and stuff on Twitter. Explain this and make sure you retweet this to your Packers following too. Because I want them to see you live and in action, trying to make up reasons for them not to be pissed off about hiring Jonathan Gannon as a DC.
Okay, so
because if the Cowboys hired him, you wouldn't have liked it. If the Cowboys hired him, you wouldn't have liked it.
First of all, what the Cowboys need is not Jonathan Gannon.
Oh, my, here we go.
They'll just get exactly what they just got with Eberflus. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't do that. So, you know what I mean? Just off of player personnel, you got to know your personnel, correct? So just knowing your player personnel, I mean, you should not want to Jonathan.
You shameless, bro.
But, yo, you funny, yo. I'm just being real. Am I not being real? Am I not being real? Am I not being real?
Bro, you shameless, bro.
Am I not being real? Listen, I understand why they got Jonathan Gannon, you know what I mean?
So tell us why. First of all, tell us why Packers fans shouldn't be worried about this screenshot right here that we looking at. Why shouldn't they be worried about this?
Shouldn't be worried about anything after 2022 because
why shouldn't they be worried about this?
Defensive plays. If he was not calling the defensive plays, I can't.
He got brought to Arizona off the merit of him bro.
What did he have in Arizona?
When coaches go to teams, the one thing that's supposed to look good is whatever side of the ball they were on.
That's not always true.
That's what's supposed to look good, though. That's the first thing that's supposed to look good.
If they're not calling the plays,
bro,
they can't do that,
bro.
You know what I mean? Like
when DeMeco Ryans went to the Texans, what instantly became the most impressive part of the Texans? The defense. The defense.
He was calling the plays at first, though.
McDonald.
He just took a step back.
McDonald.
Plays this year.
McDonald. The Seahawks this year. McDonald. Mike Vrabel this year with the Patriots. Mike Vrabel this year with the Patriots.
Okay. I'm not saying there's outliers. There's not outliers.
I just named 18 things. That's not no damn outliers.
You know what I mean?
That's what the expectation is. That's the standard.
That's three people, but at the same time, you got to also look at their staff and who they brought on with their staff. You know what I mean? Because you know your staff matters. So,
you know what else matters, TP? Your roster. Your roster also matters.
Mike McDonald. You know who his defensive coordinator is? Mike McDonald. You know who his defensive coordinator is?
Yeah, Aiden Durde, our old coach.
Yeah, defensive line coach from the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
What that defensive line look like now?
What you mean? Who? The Seahawks? The Seahawks defensive line nasty.
That's what I'm saying. And our defensive line used to look nasty too. At least not.
They'll try to make this about the Cowboys. Ain't this video about y'all hiring Jonathan Gannon? See, that's how I know you cook. That's how I know you cook. You can't even make a case for Gannon. You got to start talking about the Cowboys.
Listen, my case for Gannon, since you keep cutting me off, I like Gannon for the simple fact of he brings a lot of what Half brung with the a lot of zone rushing for. He brings a lot of that, and he brings a 3-4 hybrid 4-3. He runs a lot of multiple. He runs a multiple front. And I've been saying for years, if you put Mike in the 3-4 defense, he'll go get 20 sacks. So I'm interested to see how he uses Micah. But like I said, I'm not mad at the hire because we have what he needs to succeed. He needs a great pass rush. The Packers have a great pass rush. The last time he was a defensive coordinator, 70 sacks as a defensive coordinator. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the hire, man. I feel like how to scheme up and get pressure.
Jonathan Gannon has never shown the ability to be able to be creative with anybody in his defense. Jonathan Gannon plays more of a safe style of defense, and he relies on his front four in order to actually get home and get pressure. That's what he does, bro.
And that's exactly what happened.
All right, bro.
For real.
Bro. So you ain't going to explain this? So you're just not going to explain this?
I'm not going to be being a Cowboy fan, we obviously know who the Philadelphia Eagles were. And on 2021 in defense, they weren't that good. So to be 10th in yards, how can you be mad at that? They didn't really have no coverage DBs for real. They had a good pass rush. They didn't have no linebackers. In 2022, they had, they had a better pass rush. They brought in Bradbury. They brought in C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And they were, they were better.
Their whole defense was stacked. In 2022, they had a really, really good defense, bro.
Yeah, they had a really good defense.
They had Josh Sweat, Javon Hargrave, Linval Joseph, Fletcher Cox, Hassan Reddick, T.J. Edwards, James Bradbury, Darius Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson at 25 years old. Bro, y'all don't have that. And that's my point.
What?
TP, no, let's get to it.
No.
Ever since you became a cheesehead, you have fallen under the spell of feeling like your trash is other people's gold.
No.
Y'all don't, just because you like y'all young players, that don't mean they're going to be all pros. That don't mean they're going to be top 3. You like them because you're a Packers fan and you want them to do well.
No,
but you're not being realistic, bro. Every single outcome we talk about the Packers, you're going with the most positive possible outcome versus what's most likely to happen.
No, I'm not.
Jonathan Gannon has shown you 4 out of 5 seasons that he's been in control of a team and he's supposed to be a huge influence defensively, whether he's calling the plays or not. 4 out of 5 seasons that Jonathan Gannon has been a part of any football team, his defense has not been impressive by any means, bro.
They were 10th in yards.
And what were they in everything else? Let's pull this back up. And what were they in everything else? They were 10th in yards and 18th in points.
That put 90 on them.
It don't matter. One game ain't going to out shift 16 other games.
That's true.
Bro.
He put 50 and 40 on them. That's 90 points in 2 games.
They were 18th in points. 26th in takeaways.
They didn't have I said they didn't have no DBs.
So what are we talking about, bro?
That wasn't a good team that he still had 10th in yards. That wasn't a great defense that they had 10th in yards. That wasn't
if teams are scoring quick, and if teams are scoring quick, your defense not taking the ball away. See, this is what you try to do. You making these straw man arguments because you know damn well this is the same argument as, Kevontae Turpin led the league in return yards. Yeah, because people scored on the Cowboys so much that he had the most returns by a large margin. So he had to lead the league in return yards. This is the same thing. If you're looking at your defense and y'all are one of the worst teams in the league taking the ball away, what does that usually mean? That usually means that you're losing the battle of field position. If you're losing battle of field position, what does that mean? The other team's gonna have to make less yardage on average to score. No. Yes, bruh. So instead of starting at the 20-yard line, the 10-yard line, bro.
Their offense wasn't terrible. They made this was a playoff team.
Bro, you trying to convince everybody that a team that because they had top 10, they were 10th in yards and 18th in points given up and 26th in takeaways.
What I'm saying is that's not a terrible defense. For what he had, that's not a terrible defense. For what he had, that's not a terrible defense. Knowing the 2021 year, watching what teams were doing to that defense, And the lack of players that they had, I'm not mad.
Packers fans, tread lightly.
I'm not mad at that.
Tread lightly, Packers fans. Tread lightly. Tread lightly. All I'm gonna say is this: the fact that no other fan base
for guys who live in zone and don't like the blitz, like a Gannon, the best thing he can do is go to a team with a great pass.
Is Gannon known for being a creative defensive mind? Is he known for being somebody that knows how to move guys around and create matchups and create one-on-one matchups?
I mean, if he runs a 3-4 multiple front, I would assume so. I mean, when you get a guy like Rashawn Reddick,
he's known for four-man. He's known for primarily using four-man pressures, bro.
You can do that in 3-4.
But I'm saying, like, so you're not creating one-on-one matchups with four-man pressures?
They were definitely creating one-on-one matchups. We watched this. We definitely watched this.
With guys who were not being game. So you're telling me that teams were game planning every week that we have to double team Hassan Reddick for us to have a chance to win this game? Come on, bro. That's what you're telling me? That's what teams are doing to Micah Parsons. That's what teams are doing to Mike. And by the way, he probably ain't going to be there until week 4 or 5. You sit here operating on the assumption he's going to be there week 1 and beat Micah Parsons week 1. That man is not going to be there no week 1, bro.
His timeline week 3.
You said what?
His timeline week 3.
Okay. And he going to come back and beat Micah Parsons week 3. Got it. Anywho, teams are game planning every week to stop Micah Parsons. When they look at the Green Bay Packers defense, the first person they talk about what they need to do, the first thing they need to do to be successful is stop him.
So when you
were not doing that. You were not doing that. You were more so relying on your protection schemes and everything else like that. You going up against guys like Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick. You're not game planning to double and triple those dudes.
Guess what? When they did that in the beginning of the year, guess who ate? Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt.
Rashawn Gary ain't even gonna be there. Y'all want him gone.
Hey, I'm just saying.
So you talking about some guess who ate? Y'all want Rashawn Gary gone. Packers fans.
We got edge rushers, bro. We got edge rushers. They got edge rushers.
And on the time, see, overvaluing y'all trash, thinking it's other people's treasures.
Edge rushers, bro. Right.
So now y'all think y'all 4th and 5th guys on the depth chart is those dudes now too, huh?
No, just the third one. Just the third one.
Lucas Van Ness?
Yeah.
Okay, one dude. And he ain't even proven to be nothing more than a good NFL player so far. He's a good NFL player so far.
All he got to be.
That's not all he got to be. That's not all he got to be. That's not all he got to be. We've seen what it looks like when Micah is solely relied upon to be special and be that dude every single play, every game. We see what it looked like. So we're not about to sit here and sell no. Packers fans, I'm not about to allow him to sell y'all no dream. It don't work like that, bro. It don't work like that. Y'all gonna need a dominant interior D-line for Jonathan Gannon's scheme to work. Jonathan Gannon's scheme to work. No, y'all don't. No, y'all don't. Devontae Wyatt was hurt. We gotta see if he gonna come back the same. He wasn't established enough to assume he gonna come back at status quo.
He was dominant.
He wasn't established enough to come back and assume he gonna operate at status quo. He wasn't established enough.
But what he was doing was dominant.
Man.
And then when he got replaced, when he had to be replaced, they still didn't lose any emotion until Micah went out.
So this is your time right here. I'm gonna hand the floor to you. You the Packers representative, bro. I want you to talk to Packers Nation. How should they feel? And what should they look forward to with this defense?
Like me, you just shouldn't be mad at the hire, man. This guy, he was a defensive coordinator for 2 years and had 2 top 10 defenses when it comes to yards. All that other stuff is for them. He's coming to a team with tremendous talent on it. You know what I mean? If they can keep that same defense, you know what I mean? He got great safeties. He got 3 of them. Evan Williams, Bullard, and McKinney. Come on, man. We gotta work on that quarterback room. The pass rush is there. The linebacker room is there. Like, it's not too, like, he's coming to a team where he can really succeed. I really don't see this hire being what people are trying to make it seem. People make it seem like this is the Arizona Cardinals defense. You know what I mean? Where there ain't playmakers out there. Everybody saw what this defense was last year with all these guys flying to the football and flying around. There's a lot of speed and talent on this defense.
40 points while Micah was out there against the Cowboys, by the way.
And guess what? They didn't score one touch. They didn't have one touchdown drive until Devontae Wyatt left the game.
Mm-hmm.
When that interior pressure was there, they didn't do nothing. Dak couldn't step up and do nothing.
Yep. That's
because
you were just telling me that Jeff Hafley was one of the most. You was just telling me that Jeff Hafley was one of the most young and promising and up and coming minds in football, and now he's just this easily replaceable, huh?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I didn't say easily replaceable. What I said was Haf did things to that defense and schemed up a lot of great pressures. I'm talking about, you know what I mean? He blitzed the linebacker, you know what I mean? When
he did what? No, he did what? He did what? He did what?
He blitzed.
He blitzed?
Yeah.
What does Jonathan Gannon not do?
Hey.
What does Jonathan Gannon not do?
Hey.
A lot of.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
We're going to see what happens.
Okay. That's why I was talking about creating one-on-one matchups. But blitzing and stuff like that creates one-on-one matchups. Even simulated pressure creates one-on-one matchups.
He didn't have the linebackers and the safety group that he had in Philly that he don't have now. That's a fact.
Man, go ahead and continue giving your BS spill to this Packers Nation, man. I'm gonna let you finish propaganda.
No, you just shouldn't be mad at the hire, man. I feel like as long as you can get pressure at 4 with Jonathan Gannon and Eberflus and things like that, you're gonna see their defense excel. If you can't get pressure at 4, you're probably gonna be pretty bad. I think you need good safeties too, and you know what I mean. They have that. You need that communication on the back end, and you need guys to be able to fly to the football. We got ball hawks on the back end, so they just need to come down with interceptions. Like I think that should really kill the defense this year, just not getting turnovers. So I'm interested.
Producer note. Hey, what happened with Jim Leonard? I thought he was supposed to be on y'all list.
I don't think they wanted to keep waiting. I think that's what it was. I just don't think they wanted to keep waiting. I think they wanted to get on the ball with, you know what I mean, getting the staff together and, you know what I mean, just getting together as a staff and, you know what I mean, creating a game plan. I think that's just what it is. Free agency right around the corner. I just think they just wanted to get a guy in there that, you know what I mean, I think that Matt LaFleur felt confident in that to get the job done instead of waiting. And then, you know what I mean, waiting, and then you might not even get the guy anyway. So I just think they just went with the safer option.
So you think y'all gonna keep all y'all current assistant coaches, or you think Gannon's gonna make his own staff?
That's what I'm interested to see. I definitely think they should keep the defensive line coach. Definitely keep the defensive line coach. Definitely could probably get a new DB coach in there. I like the linebacker coach, but that's what I'm saying. I thought the staff was pretty good. Special teams gotta get better too over there. But all in all, I just don't think Jonathan Gannon was a bad hire. You know what I mean? He's been in playoff game. He's been there. He's done it. He's coached good players. He's had players have good years. You know what I mean? Hassan Reddick had his career year there. You know what I mean? A lot of players. Javon Hargrave, we haven't heard about him since Philly. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Let's be real.
You're not gonna act like Javon Hargrave's a bad player.
Nah, he ain't do nothing for him in San Fran. They signed him all that money. He ain't really do nothing. Hassan Reddick ain't really do nothing after that either. I think he had 110-sack season after that. Josh Stewart, I think he's always been a up and down player. But I like him. He's a pretty good player. But I think there's just a lot more talent that he has to work with that, you know what I mean, AOC not really trying to see or talk about. He can hate all he wants to, but there's everybody.
Man, this is your show, man. I'm in my producer box. This is your show.
Packers fans, you know there's a lot of talent on the defense. When you have a lot of talent on the defense,
matter of fact, just so it feel more like your show, here you go.
A lot of people hate, you know what I mean? A lot of people hated Eberflus, but I really think that, you know what I mean, and called Jonathan Gannon an Eberflus disciple. So that's why Cowboy fans is really making fun of it. But it's just like, I keep telling them, if they had a Micah Parsons and they traded for Quentin Williams, that defense would have been a lot better. Yeah, the back end would have still been ass, but when you have a great pass rush and the ball got to come out early, those routes deep down the field don't usually get seen. You know what I mean? They got to check the ball down because the pressure's there. You know what I mean? But I digress on that. But a great pass rush will save any defensive coordinator, honestly. You know what I mean? If you got the guys on the back end that can be ball hawks and play the ball, which I hope that Green Bay goes to get the number one corner this year, I think that's a must. And if they do that, I think that there won't be any type of fall off on this defense. It'll still be a top 10 defense.
Okay. All right, man. I guess. All right, Packers fans. Well, I hope that TP did a good job of trying to convince y'all not to go gorge yourselves with cheese until you have.
It's a 3-4 for me. Like, if you can come in and run that 3-4 defense, Rashawn Gary, you know what I mean? You might want to keep him now. Put him at a real defensive end position. You know what I mean? Micah outside linebacker.
The way y'all been dogging Rashawn Gary, I don't even know if he want to stay.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying.
Packers fans been dogging, bro. I've been seeing it, bro.
But listen though,
I've been seeing it across the pond. I've been like, damn.
Rashawn Gary is a run stuffing guy. So, you know what I mean? If you convert to a 3-4 and you put him at a real defensive end position where you're not really expecting him to rush the passer, and he can just be that real run stuffer with Devontae Wyatt and Kobe probably on the other side, or mix somebody else in. Even Kingsley, if you put him at the other defensive end position, two run stuffers that really play the edge well, and then, you know what I mean, you put in like a Colin Oliver or that other outside linebacker spot.
Hey, guess what, buddy? Jonathan Gannon ain't that creative. He ain't that creative.
If we run in a 3-4, that's going to be the lineup. I promise.
Man.
He's going to have those athletic freaks like Colin Oliver and Mike on the outside and bump those other two inside. And, you know what I mean, LVN can even hybrid between defensive end and outside linebacker.
I like Lucas Van Ness. Devontae Wyatt, cool.
Work wonders for sure. Devontae Wyatt, good. Kobe Wooden.
Kingsley, cool. The rest of the dudes you name are bombs, bro. I ain't about to play with you. Anywho, man. Anywho.
Fans know who I'm talking about. Kobe Wooden. I like Brinson, the young Georgia guy. I liked him a lot. I think that, you know what I mean, he's definitely going to have some toys to play with. He's going to have some toys to play with. How about them Cowboys? Thank you, Jerry.
No, I don't thank you, Jerry. Hey, thank you, Packers. We still got 2 first-round picks. We about to go crazy. We about to go crazy this offseason, boy. But either way, man, Packers fans, sound off down in the comments below, man. Are you happy with the hiring of Jonathan Gannon? Did TP do a good job of selling Jonathan Gannon to y'all? As a Cowboys fan, I'm going to just say this. I didn't want him here. I'm super glad that somebody else hired him. I'm super glad we got somebody else.
As a like that's what I'm saying, like with the Cowboys, and you know what I mean, not having that premier pass rush, and then the guys on the back end that kind of complement it, it's just like that wouldn't be a good hire for him. You need somebody to come in with a fresh mind that's going to scheme guys, and you know what I mean, use the talent that they have, you know what I mean, to really put guys in position to win. And I think Christian Parker can do that for them.
Right. Y'all be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We see y'all next one, man. Peace.